Good morning, flower friends, and welcome back to our channel. Here at Hens, Honey, and Horticulture, I am committed to showing you our farm every month of the year so you can watch us grow, maintain, and establish a cut flower farm. You can go back to see my other videos of January and February to see where we started at the beginning of the year, but today is March 30th, so I'm going to give you the updates that we've been working on throughout the month. Not all of it is flower related, however, it is all farm related. We live on 30 acres out in Spotsylvania County. We had an original barn on our property. We painted it red probably back in 2017. It sat here. You might be able to catch a glimpse of it in our other videos. You'd pull up to the house and you'd see this big old red barn. Last weekend we took it down, demoed it, and then we got a ton of gravel delivered. We've had some construction going on out here. They brought the jackhammer, they're busting up the concrete. We are in the process of building a new garage barn metal building out here. It's going to be 40 by 60. So that's super exciting for a lot of our farming equipment. And probably about 3 weeks ago, we got a load of compost delivered from our county. I think we ordered about 15 yards. It is all gone now. That is what we have left. We're just going to spread it over the bald spot in the yard where we had it dumped. My husband is in the middle of this project. He's building me a big compost bin there. So in the future, when the dump truck comes, they can just dump a huge load there. It won't be in the middle of the yard. And then hopefully I can just have a compost pile throughout the year and grab some when I need it versus just waiting for the big loads to get delivered. All right, over in my previous videos, you saw that we are expanding our flower beds. So we laid out a whole bunch of black tarp. I last month pulled the tarp back. We could see the grass dying beneath. And we spread 3 4-foot rows on this side, and then I went ahead and covered it back up with the black tarp just so weeds aren't growing in. And then in the middle of April, when I come to transplant things out, I'm just going to pull the tarp back. My beds will be ready to plant. Also, in the meantime, under this black tarp, we now have compost and warmer temperatures, so it's just breaking that grass down even further because it's getting a lot hotter under that tarp. I did just yesterday pull back the tarp to give me this first row that is left exposed. I've been watering it every day. I planted larkspur, nigella, some dill, some false Queen Anne's lace, and then some bachelor buttons in it. And those are all early spring sown flowers. They do better if they're direct seeded versus starting indoors. And you can plant them as soon as your soil can be worked. This is really hot compost, so I'm hoping it still comes up. But the temperatures will still fluctuate and drop a little before mid-April, which is our projected last frost date. So those being cooler spring flowers, hopefully they come up a little bit sooner and they can withstand those cooler temps. Over here is where we have had our established garden. I have all of my peony rows. I have a strawberry patch, a raspberry patch, and all of the peonies are already starting to come up. As you can see, our peonies are coming up out of the ground. We got 6 rows of these and they are just doing their thing. So this is all mulched over from last fall. I'm not going to remove any of the mulch because it's actually going to act as a pretty good weed suppressant in early season. I will go ahead and rake back some of it for my strawberries so they can start to get more sun and get growing, but I actually end up tucking it back under my strawberry plants to keep my strawberries off the ground from getting too moldy. Our raspberries are coming in like crazy, and raspberries actually spread, so I will have to come in and prune some of these early guys out. But as you can see, we got all sorts of growth coming out. They are budding out. I just try to keep my strawberries along this line, but they produce a couple waves of fruit throughout the summer. We get an early crop and a late summer crop, and they are Joan Jay thornless variety, and we love them. This is the side of the garden where we did 2 more tarps. Yesterday, my husband and I were out here. We pulled back one tarp, laid another 3 rows, and just about used all the compost we had. So we covered it back up. We're gonna get another big load of compost delivered, hopefully into our new compost bin, and then finish out these rows. I started brainstorming yesterday, so we actually have a huge backfield on our property too that's pretty much cleared. We have a couple pines that we planted back there, and I would love to plant some fruit trees and maybe move our perennial garden back there. So maybe this fall we will dig up our peonies and start the perennial garden in the backfield. But in order to do that, I'm thinking we are going to take these black tarps when we pull them off in mid-April to get all of our seedlings transplanted out here. We'll go ahead and move the tarps and tarp off a big section in the backfield. So that'll break down from mid-April until possibly like late September, early October, when we go ahead and move all of our fall perennials to the back and maybe plant some new things. So the goal with these tarps is to just keep them rotating all year long, making new beds or breaking down old beds that are done, that we've harvested, and it's time to clear them out. We'll just put the tarps on those to just kind of keep it working for us and speeding up the composting process. So that sums up the progress that has taken place in the last month here. A lot has happened. We've laid compost, we've covered things back up, the peonies are blooming, we have started a compost bin. Next, I'm going to take you to the basement and show you the progress of our seedlings under our grow lights. And now we're in my unfinished basement, and a couple videos ago, you can go back and look, I talked about seed starting. Just wanted to show some of the seeds that are under lights right now. You can see some of them came up really great. It's a big full tray of basil. We got some carnations back there. Some of the seeds I planted are a little bit older, so I'm really glad that I'm starting them inside and not direct sowing out in the garden, because I can see what's actually coming up. If I get a tray where there's poor germination, it's just not worth it. I'm gonna toss the tray. And then it also allows me to just plant healthy, viable plants in the garden, versus if I was to sow all of these in the garden with the seeds being a little bit older, if they came up spotty, it's kind of hard to go back and plant other things, because then you're mixing flowers and your garden just becomes unorganized. So this year I am using up a lot of my old seed, see what's getting started, and then I will transplant these out in the middle of April. Although our farm and our home, our private residence, is not open to the public, our farm stand is, and we are located on Catharpin Road in Spotsylvania, Virginia. So you can just pull in the drive. You're gonna swing a left into our roadside flower stand area. We have a parking pad for you, and you can come visit, collect some flowers and goods. Here we are. Share flowers with your friends and neighbors. They make great gifts. You're gonna pull up. It is an honor system roadside stand. We have our cash box. I'll definitely be accepting Venmo. Our first flowers available are going to be in late April, starting off with some big peony bouquets. We hope you come visit us. Probably about a week or two out, we're gonna start posting some signage on the road, release our address so you can come and stop by. We definitely look forward to seeing you. Come take a picture with the stand. It's not painted this season, but at the end of the season or early next season, we hope to get it painted a fun color. All right, stick around, like, comment, and subscribe for more farming, flowering, all sorts of content like that. We love to have you here, and keep your eyes peeled for our next video. Bye.